Hi, so we need to eat a large variety of plant foods. And I'm talking specifically about plants today. I do eat only plants, and I encourage you to eat only plants as well. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But we need to eat a large variety of plants as well. So typically, when I meet with a new client, if they are eating fruit, not everyone eats fruit every day. It's usually bananas, maybe bananas and apples and oranges. Those are usually the common fruits. And so that's nice. I'm glad they're eating fruit, but we need to eat a lot of different fruits and mix it up a little bit. And so I wanted to talk about that today. So not only do we need to eat lots of different types of foods like fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, nuts, and seeds, we need to eat different types of fruits, different types of vegetables. So when I ask you something like, what greens are you eating today? And you can come up with something like, I don't know, usually when I say greens here in the South, people will say, well, collards, I'll eat collards every now and then, or I don't like collards. But when I'm talking about greens, I'm talking about all greens. I'm talking about broccoli and collards, kale, bok choy, Napa cabbage, green cabbage, asparagus, lettuce, different types of lettuces, Swiss chard, spinach. Anyway, you get my point. So lots of different vegetables. Those are vegetables, the leafy greens. Beans, so black-eyed peas, black beans, chickpeas, pinto beans, kidney beans, lentils. There are all sorts of different types, and nuts and seeds. So almonds and walnuts or peanuts are common. Peanuts, we can get kind of iffy on those, but they are a legume. Chia seeds, flax seeds, you get my point. We need to mix it all up and eat a large variety of different things all the time, because everything that we eat offers something different to our microbiome. And I don't know if the microbiome is something that's familiar to you or not. But 20 something years ago, the pediatrician to my first child kept telling me I needed to do things to build up the gut flora. So what the heck are you talking about, gut flora? And so now I know he was way beyond his years 20 years ago, but the science has come out that we have all these different microbes that live in our intestine. Actually, they live on our skin, in our body, and they do different things for us. They break down our foods, help us with digestion, but they help us to process different vitamins and minerals. They help us to absorb different foods. They help us to remove different toxins from the intestinal tract and help us with our immune system. They have so many different things going on, and there's hundreds of thousands. Can't remember how many are in there, but there's tons and tons of these microbes in there, and they all feed on something different. And we have some that are good and some that are bad. And when you think about it, here, in your city or wherever you live, there's always somebody doing something to get arrested, right? Well, the same thing from the beginning of time, this has been going on. The same thing goes on in your body. So there are those people who can do what they need to be doing. They're helping to contribute to society, but every now and then they act up. Well, the same thing can go on in here. Well, we want to feed all the ones that are the good microbes. So we want to keep control so that they can take care and do everything that we need them to do. So when the other ones act up, they can kind of take over. So we want to feed all those different things and nourish all of them. Even the ones that maybe don't belong, they still can do something to help to contribute to your health. So we need to feed all of them. So when we look at foods, they all have different textures, different flavors, different colors, and all those different things offer different nutrients for our bodies. So it's just like the leaves on the trees. And, when you look at outside in the summertime, there's all these green leaves, and there might be different shades of green, but in the fall, all of a sudden we have yellow leaves and red leaves. And what are some other colors? Red, orange leaves. Anyway, the color that comes out is the chemical that is most dominant in that plant. And so, like, I'm thinking of the ginkgo tree, which is a beautiful yellow, or the maple tree, which is beautiful red. Is those chemicals in there, the berberine and the ginkgo is what's showing up. And so when we eat our foods, we want to get all those different nutrients, all those different colors, but we also need variety. And so you could eat blueberries every day. That's going to give you a beautiful purpley color, the anthocyanins. But we need to eat something else that also has the purple. So maybe purple cabbage or purple asparagus or purple potatoes, because they come packaged with different fibers and nutrients and things to help feed our body and feed our microbiome. So when you are out choosing your foods, grocery shopping, going to farmers markets, look for things that you haven't seen. Look for different colors. And the same thing for when you're sitting down to a meal. Like when I sit down to my breakfast, I like green smoothies, and I can put different fruits and things in there, different colors in there. Now, I always tell you, sidebar, to chew your smoothie. Don't drink your smoothie. You need to chew it to help with digestion. That's for another subject. But put different fruits or different things in it or on it to add those different colors. Look at different ways you can add colors. If we look at the typical breakfast of cold cereal with milk and a banana, there's not a lot of color there. There are some nutrients in there. I don't recommend anyone eat cold cereal and milk. There are much healthier options for you. But that banana will offer some nutrients, but maybe you need to mix it up and add a different fruit or more fruit. And we can talk about breakfast at another time. When you sit down to your lunch, some people will have like peanut butter and jelly. Children will take that to school, right? Or maybe you go through a fast food restaurant or something like that. Where's the color? We need color. Maybe you have a pickle, lettuce, and tomato, right? But we need lots of colors. And then at dinner, look at your plate. What else can you do to add more color? Because each time you add something different, you're going to be adding more nutrients. So I keep talking about color, but it's not just the color, it's the texture, it's the flavor. We want to get all of the different fibers that can be offered. Mushrooms, very high in beta glucans, which is wonderful for your immune system and very wonderful for your gut lining, repairing gut lining. If you've heard about leaky gut, so any way that you can add mushrooms in a variety of different mushrooms. So we have, your portobellos and shiitakes, different mushrooms that you can find in the store. Even if you get lion's mane or something like that, you can Google recipes for like barbecued lion's mane. It's just like a barbecued pork for those of us in the South who like your barbecue. You can make it with lion's mane. It looks just like it. Make your sauce. It'll taste just like it. Anyway, I just want to make sure you're adding lots of different foods. It's so easy to get stuck in a rut, but look for different ways that you can try something new. When you're out shopping, just pick up something that is a different color or texture or looks a little different. Or if you're a little leery about that, maybe you like sweet potatoes and you're in the store and they have purple sweet potatoes. Well, it's still a sweet potato. It's just a different color. It's going to give you different nutrients. It's still very healthy for you. If you normally buy white onions or yellow onions, pick up a purple onion. That's going to give you some more, the same type of nutrition with some anthocyanins, and it's going to taste the same. If you're not used to eating purple onions, or maybe you think they're very spicy, then roast them or saute them and put them in a dish. Don't eat them raw if you don't like that raw oniony flavor. I'm trying to think of something else. There's purple asparagus. It tastes just like regular asparagus. We used to grow purple green beans, and that was definitely a favor. When you cook them, they turn green. The purple must come out into the water. So you have to be careful with that too, because you don't want to lose your nutrients. So your cooking method, you want to preserve too. Another subject. So I'm just trying to think. You can buy carrots that are different colors. So that way you're not doing something too bizarre. But I also encourage you to try some foods that maybe you've never tried before. It's too easy to Google or go on YouTube and search a different fruit or vegetable you haven't tried before. Same thing with nuts and seeds. If you haven't used chia seeds are wonderful for you, but you don't eat them dry. Don't sprinkle them on a cereal. You need to soak them in something, soak them in a nut milk or water or something to plump them up a little bit. They're wonderful with overnight oats. Mix them with some oats and your nut milk or even water and let them plump up, and you'll get like a chia pudding. Google chia puddings or look at my chia pudding recipe in my YouTube under Holistic Gym. Anyway, I hope this helps you add some more variety and nutrition to your meals. Mix it up. Focus on variety, different colors and textures.